No, all right, I'm gonna do it now.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, everyone, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Football Philosophy Podcast. With me today is yours truly, Trey. We are going to have two other guests coming on the show as well. They just taking a little bit of time, but yeah, we're just gonna get started, and they're gonna be joining us. It's been an action-packed weekend. Trey, do you have anything in mind?
You know what? Firstly, I just want to take this opportunity to just to say how tremendous the day's been. At the moment, I'm currently not in a situation where I could fully have a video, but we've had an action-packed weekend. We've seen Manchester United literally show tremendous grit, tremendous energy, tremendous spirit to come back from 1-0 down after feeling cheated. And we actually ended up getting the 3 points, which dented Spurs' hopes for a top four finish. And at the same time, it gave us the position where we can say we are second in the Premier League. So, Abdi, what's your general thoughts about the result?
Yeah, I thought that was a great win for United, especially coming from behind, going, the goal that was disallowed for United, that was proper injustice. So for them to recover from that and then go into the second half, start the second half like that. Actually, we've got Moose joining us now. Let's bring him in. Yes,
Hi
Moose,
lads, how you
welcome.
doing?
Yeah,
Yes,
fantastic.
smooth.
Have you gone live already?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
live,
yeah.
mate.
We're live.
Yeah.
We're live right now. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Straight into the
Love
lion's den.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I bet you guys are thrilled from today's game.
Yes, of course.
Can't,
Mason
I can't,
Van Greenwood scored. He scored a goal, so I'm happy for him.
I can't
Cavani.
lie. Watching Cavani was fantastic. Brilliant. He was brilliant, man. He
Yeah,
ran
Yeah.
for 90 minutes. Like he was a youngster.
yep.
He was
Yeah.
everywhere, and then the movement in the box. We don't need to say
Oh,
more than that. It was even the
oh,
goal that was disallowed. The
oh,
movement.
oh.
Spurs defense didn't have a clue with him today.
Mm, absolutely, yeah. His movement was crazy. We're just waiting for Lombe to join us, and then, yeah, he's joining us now.
Yeah,
All
smooth.
right. Uh, we're
Yeah.
um, we're live
Bonjour.
with you, Lombe.
Bonjour, bonjour, monsieur.
What's what's going on, lads?
What's
Yeah.
going on with you guys? Why am I the only one who's got this camera on?
Mate, you're
Sorry,
committed.
guys. I'm I'm on my
Yeah,
way home, so my camera's
yeah, it's
unavailable.
calm. Yeah,
No
yeah, it's calm.
no lockdown trim today.
Yeah, that's all right. That's
It's
all right.
open
Yeah,
tomorrow, though. Everything's
What?
yeah,
Say
open
it
let's.
again.
tomorrow. Everything's open tomorrow, so you can get your tremendous trim.
Oh, I've been waiting 4 months, mate. But I
Yeah,
digress.
yeah. No, it's gonna be exciting, man. Finally. Yeah, let's get started, guys. It's been like I was saying before, it's been an action-packed weekend. But yeah, before we get started, any of our viewers, please make sure that you hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe to us for regular football contents. And if you are listening to us on Spotify or any podcast platform, be sure to subscribe so you're always getting notified whenever we do a podcast. Now, there is only one place for us to start with this week, and that is the Clasico. It was an unbelievable game, a game that had absolutely everything. Real Madrid won at the end, 2-1. The weather was terrible, but that didn't stop us from seeing a great game. Benzema got the goal for Real Madrid. But yeah, guys, what did you make of it? Can you guys hear me?
I'll start.
Yeah, go for it.
I didn't actually catch the game. That's the only game of the weekend I missed, and it's unfortunately. But you said who scored? Benzema and
Yeah, so Benzema and Toni Kroos got the goals for Real Madrid. Yeah, so well, the way it worked was obviously did you catch the game? Yours truly, Trey.
Yeah, of course. It was a good result
Yeah.
for Real Madrid. Going into the game, Real Madrid were leading in the amount of wins against Barcelona in El Clasico games. So this was Barcelona's opportunity to sort of go level with them in wins. Benzema obviously got the winner, and he actually shut some of the doubters up because I'm not gonna lie, Benzema's name is not sort of thrown out there as one of the greats, especially for goal scoring and what he does on the pitch in terms of his assisting, his overall play. His name's not mentioned, but once again he produced the goods, and Real Madrid ended up winning the El Clasico, and that was crucial because the league is tight already. So we're at the business end of the season, so they've got crucial 3 points, which will allow them to get one step closer to winning the title.
Yeah, so this is what the table looks like at the moment. You've got Real Madrid 66 points, Atletico Madrid 66 points. They are playing at the moment now, so that is due to change. Barcelona 65 points. So going into this game, the best thing that could have happened for Atletico Madrid was either a Real Madrid win or a draw. Now they still have a chance of going the top of the table, and if they win their remaining games, I think they're gonna win. They can win the league title.
Yep.
I'm just gonna bring in Moose next. Moose, what do you think about Zidane's approach to this game?
Oh, there's a lot of talk of Zidane over the past few years, whether he is as good as his results are showing. But what I'll say is, every time. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, cut out. Yeah, every time there's a big game and Zidane needs to win, he seems like he can pull it out the bag for Real Madrid, and I'm backing them to now go and clinch the title.
Yes, yeah. I can. You know what? Yeah, that's been something interesting about Real Madrid this season. When it comes to the big games, the big moments, he's been able to rely on his players, and he doesn't even have that great of a team. Lombe, who's looking at this table? Who's your favorite to win the league now?
oh no, I've got to say I agree with Moose in terms of with Zidane, and I mentioned in the previous podcast that Real Madrid have got the ability to just flick the switch, like especially in the Champions League. I saw them flick that switch against Liverpool where they just turned on the calm and they were like, okay, we've been here before. Let's go and control this game. And that, I think that has given them a little boost, which is timely for Real Madrid. But that as well might boost them in the Premier League. I mean, in the La Liga, sorry.
La Liga, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have got some experience in there that they can just turn it on at any moment. And Zidane probably knows what to say to get the main players to do what he needs to do when
Yeah.
it's the time. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I do agree with you. It's hard to see anyone else. Well, if you look at Barcelona, they've only lost one game in the last 20 games. Yeah, this was the Clasico was the only game that they lost, I believe. Real Madrid have also not lost, I think, for 19 game period now. Atletico Madrid have gone from being 11 points ahead with 2 games in hand at one point to now looking like they're just gonna bottle it. How did this happen? Because I have no answers for this.
You know what? I've got a very simple logic behind it. Atletico Madrid, the way the star is, they're quite intensive. The way they approach games, similar to Liverpool. I feel that that style of football cannot be sustained for a long period of time, and you're going to get to a point where the players are mentally drained. The players are also physically drained because of the input that they put in every single game, just intensity. I feel that that style of football cannot be sustained for a long period of time, and that's why, for me, one of the reasons why Liverpool are where they are right now, because I would compare Atletico Madrid sort of football and their style quite similar to Liverpool, and it's the same situation. I see the players have obviously put out a lot. They've got some injuries that's obviously affected them. Confidence and morale for some of the players has also affected them, and it's the reason why they've dropped so many points, in my opinion.
I've got an answer. I've got an answer to this. Well, I've got a theory. It's kind of an extension of Trey's in that I just think Atletico have, like, if you look at Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico, they've kind of all lost players recently or lost a certain, the fullness of a previous era team. And Atletico, I think they've lost the likes of Godin, Thomas Partey, and all those guys. Like it's Simeone still got his energy over Atletico. He still makes them Atletico, but at the same time, it's just not it's just not the same, innit? Like it's not the same. Real Madrid, at least they've got world class quality in enough areas, and Ramos is still there, who's holding it all together. But and Benzema as well. But they've got enough quality around there. It's just more about the youngsters that they're bringing in at the moment. But they're at a very important checkpoint for Real Madrid, in my opinion. Barcelona, they've got the situation with Messi and the whole Barcelona circus that's going on. The only team that I think is actually worse than Arsenal, but even potentially not. It might not even be that bad. Like they just might need to clear the air, Barcelona, with the Messi thing and what they're going to do with the future and balancing it all together. But yeah, I think Atletico have probably lost the most with Barcelona in that race. And Real Madrid, they flicked the switch against Liverpool, and I think that was an important moment in their season, that Liverpool first leg. And if they go and see it through against Liverpool and put another convincing performance, that will be an ominous sign for La Liga, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, Lombe.
Abdi, we can't hear you, by the way.
Yes,
And I can-
yeah, I was on mute. Yeah.
You mute
All
yourself.
right. Yes, yeah, carry on, Trey.
Yeah, I was just going to sort of say that Lombe, you're 100% right with what you're saying. Maybe losing those integral players such as Partey and Godin has obviously affected Atletico Madrid. But they've obviously done well to start off really well. But for me, that sort of intensity, the style of football, it cannot be sustained for a long period of time. And I feel it's affected them now. And Real Madrid, for me, are the front runners to retaining their league title.
Absolutely, yeah. So, the way I see it is, so you guys are saying Real Madrid are the favorites to win it. I'm gonna go completely the different side here, the opposite side, and because I want to see Atletico Madrid winning this. I know at the moment it's looking hard for them, but if they win their game tonight, that's their destiny in their hands. And yeah, we'll see. But Real Madrid can. When it comes to the run in, maybe the Champions League is going to affect them. It's going to take a lot out of them. But yeah, that was a great performance the other day against Liverpool, and then now also against Barcelona. I think Zidane got absolutely spot on. So that we'll see come the end of the season. Who was right? If it was me or if it was you guys. Now, if we just move on quickly, news is being in Italy at the moment. It looks like the Serie A is done. So the only thing that people are fighting for is the top four positions, and all of the teams have won now, and it doesn't look like a lot has changed. But can you guys up to date with what's going on over there?
Yeah, I didn't actually catch Atalanta. I've seen they were winning 2-1. Did they win? Have you got that?
I'm not quite sure yet if they finished their game yet.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
apart from
check.
that,
Yeah.
Milan obviously won, even with Ibrahimovic's red card,
Yes.
which I heard was a misunderstanding. So I don't know if it's getting revoked or what's going on there. Juventus cruised to a 3-1 win against Genoa, and Victor Osimhen played a very good match today, and Napoli beat Sampdoria away 2-0. So yeah, and even Roma won as well, I believe 1-0. So everyone in Serie A won. Just back to square one again. That there's
Yeah.
only 1 or 2 points in it. Inter are long gone. They've won the league this year. We said this a few weeks ago. So they've continued. I think they've won 13 in a row. So that's the Antonio Conte effect of when he's got his army and they're ready for battle. That they don't really leave anything behind. So they're getting 3 points, and Napoli have to face them next week. So that's going to be a big test for Napoli. A very difficult match. And Juventus are also playing against Atalanta. So points to be dropped somewhere there, hopefully. So yeah, it's all really tight in Serie A at the moment for the top four.
Yes, absolutely. And just to confirm, Atalanta have won now 3-2 their game today. So
Damn.
that, yeah, that I know for you, you're not happy about that. As a Napoli fan, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting, the run in for the last few games.
I
I
love it
actually
personally.
Yes, carry on.
I love it. Sorry, man. There's so many teams I enjoy watching in Italy and Atlanta. Sorry, Moose. I love watching Napoli as well, but Atlanta, they are flipping drugs FC. They're like Bayern Munich. They're a bunch of Goretzkas, all of them. Like.
It's true. When we sold Duvan Zapata to them, he was just like an average shape. And now I look at him, this guy's ripped to shreds. So they're doing something right in the training ground there.
Yeah. Yeah, Zapata, man. I was just saying on the group
He's
chat
great.
that,
He's a great player. I think he scored 2 today as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like. He's a big regret that we sold him. He's a great player.
You guys have sold so many players that I can't even keep track of it now. Yeah, we'll see who's gonna get top four. But personally, you guys know that I want to see Atalanta. As long as Atalanta are there, I don't care who else is there. Now there is a game that I watched this week. It was against Wolfsburg against Stuttgart. No, Wolfsburg and the team in fourth place in Germany. Which team is it? 1 second, let me double check. Forgetting the names, man. The top four race in Germany looks very interesting at the moment, you know.
Yeah, it's quite competitive at the minute.
Dortmund are flopping as well. They're struggling in this race, and it's
Yeah,
like it's a similar situation with Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. Because if
yeah.
they don't get top four, I really see Kane and Haaland both leaving. I really do this year. Kane, I think he must be frustrated, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dortmund need to wind back the clock and bring back Hummels and Subotic at the center of defense. Like they need that.
Hummels
They
is
haven't
there.
replaced them technically. No,
Hummels is there. Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Hummels
He's
is
like
absolutely
PK.
done.
He's like PK. He can't run anymore.
Yeah.
Legs are done.
Yeah.
Legs are done.
Yeah. So the Atletico Madrid match is finished now 1-1. So yeah, that's the title race out of their hands.
Yeah, they've dropped points, mate. They've dropped
Yeah,
points.
I thought that was meant to be the boring league. That seems like the best one right now.
Yeah.
All three like that. That was meant to be Spain's finish, but not a bad Liga.
Right. Yeah, you're
honestly, it's because Atletico have bought it. I'm pretty sure Atletico had a massive lead on, like maybe even just a couple of weeks back, and a massive lead on the league. But they've done a Gerrard.
Yeah, they bottled it, man.
Liverpool job. It was a
They've done a Liverpool job. This is even worse, you know. Oh my days, this is even worse. Yeah. All right. So if we just move on a little bit quickly now, in Germany, yeah, we'll see if Haaland can get there. If not, I think that's Borussia Dortmund losing Jadon Sancho and Haaland in the same transfer window, because if there's no Champions League football, Erling Haaland is not going to stay around for Europa League. I'm sure about that. Now, if we just turn our attention quickly before we move on to the main event of the podcast, Jesse Lingard has again scored 2 goals for West Ham, and it's been absolutely phenomenal since he joined them. Trey, what did you make of his performance today?
Can I just say one thing about Lingard? Lingardinho. Literally. When Lingard's in form, it's funny because when he's on form, he's a different player. He's playing like Ronaldinho. Did you see that assist that that got disallowed? Like, you could just see he's just playing with confidence. I don't know why it is. I think it's a London thing. He must be enjoying the scenery. Like, he's Olympic Stadium. It's a different environment because obviously he's a Manchester boy, isn't it, man? So he's come to London. It's a different energy, and it's good to see he's happy. Do you know what I mean? He's gone through a difficult period last year with obviously his personal issues. So with the likes of Pogba and Bruno being in that position as well, it's very difficult for him to play consistent games. So I think it was a good decision for him to go to West Ham to sort of re-establish himself, start getting the games, getting consistent games, putting in performances. And funny enough, he comes to a team now where the West Ham players are looking up to him. He's inspiring these West Ham players, and they've upped their level. And I hope, like, for the community, because obviously I'm from East London, I'm just around the corner from the stadium. So I'm hoping for the community that they get Champions League football. So I'm gonna book a ticket and see one of the games live. Definitely, if that happens, for sure.
That actually leads me to my next question. But before we move on from that, just quickly let me bring in this comment from Nathan Best. Trey, you're a United fan, so this will probably involve you. Nathan says, genuinely think that more of these Jesse Lingard performances will increase United's chances of using him in a deal swap with Declan Rice. What do you make of that?
100% agree with Nathan, the best. Yeah, Nathan, he's obviously been doing some incredible work. So I just wanted to give him credit for that. And that's a great question. I definitely feel that after those 2 goals, his value's gone up. I think United are not going to accept anything less than 50 mil for Lingard. If West Ham really want him, 50 mil minimum would obviously bring into the club, and we can also use that as a negotiation tool to bring in Declan Rice, who, in my opinion, if you're going to play the system that Oli plays, having Declan Rice with Paul Pogba in that position, I think that would be amazing for the club, and it would give, I would say, Paul Pogba an opportunity to sort of showcase his skills from a defensive point of view. Because today he played on the wing, which obviously it's not his best position, but I'm just happy that he done his best and got the job done. So Declan Rice is a big move for us.
Yeah. So we'll see if that's going to happen. Thanks for the comment, Nathan Best. Lombe, I'm just going to ask you quickly if you think they will make the top 4.
Oh, West Ham. I West Ham are a funny one because I think they can. And if someone's gonna drag them there, it's literally Lingard, which is ridiculous. But he's gonna drag them top 4. But do you know what I'll say about Lingard? Yeah, just carrying on from Trey's point, right? Trey, I mean, Lingard literally looks like he's fresh. He looks like he hasn't played football and he's had a great preseason and he's coming to West Ham. He looks like he's absolutely fresh and in form and he's had a new lease of life and it's good to see, because he's one of these characters where his happiness is infectious in it. Even though I
Yeah.
hate him as an Arsenal fan, because you guys have
Yeah.
flipping Millie rocking in flipping Emirates Stadium,
Love it.
but
Absolutely love it.
at the same time, he's slyly one of these characters where when he's smiling and he's happy and he's doing his antics, you can't help. You can't help. It
Yeah.
just it just sneaks up on you. But yeah, I think his time is done at Man United. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I think it's just done. But then Man United now are gonna command a fee. That's gonna be the tricky part. It's how much does Lingard want to go, and how much do Man United want to get for him, and how do you balance out those two? But it's back to the question: can West Ham get top four? They can, but I fear for them as the pressure keeps mounting up, and we keep talking about it now like it's a reality. I fear for them because Chelsea and Liverpool might come back.
Yeah, and also they've lost Declan Rice now and Michael Antonio, which are two very important players to them. But for us as neutrals, I don't support West Ham, but yeah, I would love to see them in the Champions League for my own personal reasons, something to do with Liverpool and Chelsea not being there next season. Now, if we just move on quickly to the main event of the podcast, which is to rank our top 5 players of the season so far. Now, I'm gonna start with Moose first. Can you give me your 5 best? Well, who you think will be the top 5 players of the season so far?
Yeah, absolutely love the topic as the season's coming to a close. So I've gone with at 5, Jack Grealish. I think he's been absolutely fantastic this year. Getting into the England team, hopefully starting at the Euros because he deserves his place. He's carried Aston Villa at times this year, and I just love it when he gets the ball. He's just Paul Gascoigne-esque, so I've enjoyed him. So that's my number 5. At number 4, I've gone with the guy who just is half a guarantee that you're going to win the title. So that's Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, it's not his most prolific year in terms of goals and assists, but it's still pretty good. I just think that every time he's on the pitch, City look like they're going to win. So he's one of the key stars of that team. And that brings me to my number 3, which is the new signing for them, Diaz. He's had I've not really seen a player come in and just take to the Prem so easily. So I think that might have been a weakness area before, but he's really shored up the centre-back area along with Stones. I thought it would be Laporte and Diaz, but it's looking like Stones and him have a good balance. So I think Diaz has been key to City and the title charge for them. So I've got Diaz in at 3. And then at 2, I've gone for, shall I say, Mr. Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. Is that right?
Assistant coach, isn't it?
The guy is doing that. Without Bruno Fernandes, I think Man U would just be at the bottom of the top 4 pile, having a scrap with everyone else. I mean, the guy's doing insane numbers from midfield. He carries the team a lot of the time. I know Rashford has also chipped in, and Pogba and Cavani done a little bit recently. But Bruno, without him, I don't think Man U would be cruising in second. He's been absolutely sensational. The modern day Rui Costa for me, Bruno Fernandes. Fantastic player. So he could easily win player of the season. But at number 1, I've got my results are mainly based on the actual individual. I'm not saying how well the team have done so much. So for my number 1, I've gone Harry Kane. His numbers, if this was Aubameyang, there's no doubt in my mind I would be saying he deserves player of the year. I think he's done 18 goals, 13 assists. In a Tottenham team that are in 6th or 7th place, he's been absolutely sensational. And that's coming from an Arsenal fan. So it's difficult for me to say that, but I can't say anyone else has been as good as Harry Kane this year in the Premier League. So that's my top 5. I've got Grealish at 5, De Bruyne at 4, Diaz at 3, Bruno at 2, and Kane at 1.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I have to say that I agree with you, but I have to hear from Lombe or Trey next. Who wants to go next, guys?
Trey, what you saying? Should I go? You want to go?
You know what, ladies first, isn't it? I'm joking.
Absolutely. The floor's yours then, Trey. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Love it. No, I'm loving it. No, you know.
All right.
Let me go. I'll go. Let me
Go on
do
then.
it. So,
Ladies first. Love it.
love it. All right. So for me, number 5. The reason why I got this person number 5 is because he's literally lived the dream. He's started his career in Crystal Palace, and then he's obviously made the move to Manchester United, and he's been a pivotal sort of player in defence for Manchester United. I have to put Wan-Bissaka in that list. If you look at his tackling statistics, it's up there with some of the top players, such as Højbjerg from Spurs. He's actually number 1 in the list, funny enough. He's made the most tackles in the Premier League this season. So for me, Wan-Bissaka goes there. I feel that Southgate is making a big mistake not putting Wan-Bissaka in the team. I feel that he needs to be in the squad. Yes, we know that Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the best going forward, but if you want to play a defensive game, Wan-Bissaka is perfect for that sort of role. So for me, I put in Wan-Bissaka, Mr. Congo. Hopefully, he represents Congo in the future. Wan-Bissaka in that number 5 spot. Sorry. So number 4, I have to agree with Moose. Jack Grealish has been absolutely sensational. If you look at a team like Aston Villa, for example, they literally got out of a relegation battle last year, and Jack Grealish this season has essentially carried his team. And I agree with Moose. He gives off that aura of Paul Gascoigne, and I really hope that he can sort of continue to get fit. Hopefully, we can see a few games before the Euros, and then I hope he gets picked for the team because he truly does deserve it. And number 3, I would have to go with Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has been absolutely sensational. I agree, Moose. The numbers this year don't sort of replicate what he does, but he's been sensational regardless. You can just see the class in his delivery, the way he distributes the ball. He's top notch. So he's someone that I really do enjoy. Number 2, I'm going with Mr. Harry Kane himself. His numbers are absolutely incredible. He's obviously hit 19 goals this season, 13 assists in the Premier League, which is sensational for a player in his position as well. I wouldn't say he's a direct out-and-out striker, but he comes inside to distribute the play so he can create something. Sort of like a Teddy Sheringham in a sense where he likes to link up play. So he's done incredible this season with a team like Spurs, who are not doing that well this season, but he's produced the numbers, so I have to give him credit. But number 1 goes to Mr. Portuguese Magnifico Bruno Fernandes or Bruno Fernandes. You have to put him on top. He's carried this team. He's done exceptionally well to come into the club, be a leader, and to really sort of get into the culture of what it is to be a Manchester United player. You can tell that he plays for the badge. He gives it his all. And for me, he's our captain on the pitch. So we've got Harry Maguire, who's doing a great job. But for me, Bruno Fernandes gives off that sort of Eric Cantona-esque sort of vibe when he steps onto the pitch. So Bruno Fernandes is my number 1 choice.
Yes, so wow, it's very close between Harry Kane and Bruno Fernandes. Moose has went with Harry Kane. Now, I have to say that I'm a bit surprised with Aaron Wan-Bissaka that you put him there, but at the end of the day, if it's about individual performances, I think he's had defensively 8 out of 10 performances almost every single game that I can remember this season, apart from the start of the season, so probably, which United were basically all over the place. Um, so you do agree with Moose about Grealish, De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, and Harry Kane. So the only difference is you got Aaron Wan-Bissaka in there. Um, who else did you have in there? Was it those five? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. In terms for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, look, I absolutely adore the guy. He's obviously done incredible stuff for Manchester United, and for him being Congolese as well, I'm extremely proud of what he's doing right now. And
What
whenever
about? Sorry, just to cut in. What about Cancelo?
Luke Shaw.
Cancelo, Luke Shaw's been excellent
Luke
as
Shaw.
well.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw's definitely up there for sure. It's a tough
Okay.
one, but the way
Okay.
I see things is I'm thinking of his whole story. So he's obviously come from Crystal Palace, a team that's pretty much not in the level of Manchester United, but he's gone into a
Yeah.
Manchester United team that needs help defensively. He's come in, he's adapted,
Yeah.
he's played his game, and look, he's thrived. He's thrived. He's done
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and we all
Yeah.
know
No,
that he's not the
I
finished
agree. I
product as
agree
well.
with you. Yeah, no, he's definitely not. He's still got a lot of improvements to make, and he has improved that United defense, definitely. Let's just move on quickly to Phantom Lombe now. I think your five will probably be similar to Moose.
Yeah, I've gone a slightly different, but yeah, there's at least three which are similar to everybody. So I've got number 5, Jack Grealish, because like Grealish is unbelievable. Every time I switch on the TV and watch this guy, I cannot believe my eyes about the way this guy is playing, how he's taking on everybody, and it feels like literally like nobody can stop him when he's on his day, which is like the biggest compliment I can give any player. But yeah, Grealish is just like that at the moment, and it's incredible seeing how he's developed. Number 4, I'm gonna go Mr. Portugal. I thought Trey was gonna say Bernardo Silva, but no, I'm joking. Bruno Fernandes, number 4.
Number
Guy is
four.
literally
Wow.
number 4,
Whoa, shocking,
guy
shocking.
carrying Manchester United. Absolute. I don't know how to describe what I'm looking at from Bruno Fernandes, but when you're getting Cantona comparisons like that is when you know you're doing a madness at Manchester United, because the only players I remember that were even getting the Cantona comparisons were Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the last player I remember where it
Yeah.
was uttered out of people's mouths. So
Yep,
I've got to
yep,
give that third
100%.
Bruno Fernandes. Sorry, fourth Bruno Fernandes. Third Harry Kane, and I agree completely with what Moose said. If Harry Kane was doing what he was doing anywhere else in the Premier League, he'd be the best player in the league, hands down. He would be. He's the best striker in the Premier League, like at the moment. Period. There's not even a second place. I think Kane is number 1. He's absolutely outstanding. This guy as a footballer, I must say, for England, and he's a mature player. He's just a complete centre forward, throwback. So I put Kane at 3, and the 2 that I've gone with for number 2 and 1 is Ruben Diaz number 2 and John Stones number 1. So imagine,
Wow.
yeah, the reason
Wow.
why I've gone for those two, the
Whoa,
reason why I've gone
shocking.
for those two,
Yeah, yeah.
I told you it's gonna be a shocking one. But the reason why I've gone for John Stones as number 1 is because he, for me, is the most improved player in the season for me, hands down, 100%. And Ruben Diaz has come in and made an impact and possibly unlocked John Stones next to him. I think Ruben Diaz is the reason why John Stones is having such an amazing composed season. He looks to have turned into a man this season, John Stones, which is good to see. But shout outs, I have to give a little shout out list, right? To Luke
Yeah,
Shaw,
yeah.
Mason Mount, Mo Salah, because I think he's the most clinical winger in the Premier League at the moment.
And Harry
And
Maguire.
oh, Mertesacker. Nah, joking, I'm joking. Let's not do that here, Abdi. Let's not do that here. One
Okay,
day we'll have the pod.
carry
One day
on.
we'll have the pod. But yeah, I had, who did I say? Mason Mount, Salah, Luke Shaw, and Damian Martinez at Aston Villa, because he's been the best keeper in the league for me. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my little shout out list.
No Wan-Bissaka.
I think Luke Shaw's been better than Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
But I just think this is always Wan-Bissaka is so solid. You know what? Do you know what it is, Trey? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka is literally has been pretty much this player since Crystal Palace. That outstanding tackler, but and a brilliant. He's even improving as a footballer. But I mean, Luke Shaw, he's had some good seasons in the past. I'm sure he got your fans player of the year a couple of years back. But I mean, this year,
Yeah, he did.
he's
This year has been exceptional. You're right.
this year has
Luke
been
Shaw has
absolute.
been
He's been
exceptional.
exceptional. I mean, what has impressed me most has been his temperament. Like, he really looks like he's in the game. He's unfazed. He looks calm now. He looks really calm when he's dealing with defensive situations and attacking and stuff. He doesn't look flustered anymore. It doesn't look like breathing heavily. He looks in real good shape, Luke Shaw, I must say.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, Phantom, can I put you on the spot here very quickly? Let me put you on the spot. So everything
Yeah.
you said about Luke Shaw, would you say that it's because of Solskjaer that he's playing really well?
Yes and no. Yes and no. But I just think Luke Shaw is probably in his most peak condition post the big traumatic injury that he had, the broken leg. I think he's just hit, like, he's completely at this point today behind that injury now, because you've seen it in previous seasons where just when he's starting to hit the good form, he'll break down. And right now, he's been hitting the good form, and you've got in Tellers as well, which has helped Manchester United, helped you manage Luke Shaw. But yeah, he looks to be in absolutely optimal condition at the moment. So I've got to give it to him. He looks fully fit mentally and physically, which is huge for him with what he's gone through.
Yeah.
Great point.
Oh man.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah. No, I have to say that I'm a bit surprised that you put. Obviously, I completely understand the reasons that you put forward for putting John Stones and Diaz, because I do think that their defense being so good this season has actually helped them, because they're not scoring as many goals as they used to back in the last 2, 3, even 4 seasons that Man City have been scoring. But yeah, for me, my top 5 players, because we have to agree on a single top 5. I think I'm gonna go slightly with putting Harry Kane number 1, which is what Moose has done. So then Bruno Fernandes number 2, because I think, Lombe, you have to also look at the individual performances, which is why I'm going with Harry Kane at number 1, because he's got 19 goals and 13 assists this season in a Tottenham team that is not really attacking a lot. So when it comes to the individual performances, yeah, I have to give it to Harry Kane number 1, and I agree with Moose. And number 2, I'll put Bruno Fernandes. He's been outstanding. I think you guys have said enough about him. And number 3, Kevin De Bruyne for me. And number 4, João Cancelo. Number 5, Jack Grealish. And a special mention to Mason Mount, who I think is having a brilliant season. Mohamed Salah as well. So, Martinez, I agree with you, Lombe. He's the best goalkeeper this season. So there's going to be another podcast that we're going to do, the best 11 of the season, and I'm sure Martinez is going to be in there. But yeah, that's my top 5 anyway. Yes, Moose?
I was just going to say one name we didn't mention who's had an absolutely super year is Gundogan from Manchester City as well. Um,
Yeah,
he's had a
Agreed.
super
Yeah.
year. Usually a centre mid
Yeah,
DM, and he's popped up and got like 12 goals and won a lot of matches for City where nothing was
you're
going
right.
on. He
You're
done really well
absolutely
this
right.
year.
You're absolutely right, Moose. I couldn't agree with you more.
But can I
Logan's
put
been
all of you
excellent.
guys on the spot? Can I put all of you guys on the spot? Yeah.
go for it.
Go for it.
Who's had a Actually, it's a strange question to ask, so I forgive you for not having an answer for it. But who's had a bigger impact, Ruben Diaz or Bruno Fernandes?
Bruno's been carrying Man U. The
Yeah, you
guy
gotta
has
say
got,
Bruno.
is he double figures in both goals and assists this season in the Premier League?
Yeah, he
From
is.
from midfield,
Yeah,
no one else has done that.
no.
That's impact for me. And he'll take the 1-0 and it'll be Bruno. He's one of them guys. So
That's
I think
true,
he
but then
deserves his spot at second place. I can't say
that's
Diaz and
nah. I have to agree. I have to agree.
yeah,
The
Bruno.
Portugal are literally if they
Crazy.
in the Euros, it's going to be crazy if these guys come together and carry on their forms of what their
And you know
players are
what's
doing.
so
But
funny, Lombe? Sorry to even cut you off. You know what's so
mm,
funny? We've we've mentioned all these other Portuguese guys, and look, the captain, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, it's gonna be sort of his last tournament, so he's gonna wanna end it in a bang. So it's scary.
Who
Portugal are
will
gonna be up for
who will take the penalty for Portugal, Bruno or Ronaldo?
it.
90th minute, who's taking it?
Ronaldo's taking it.
Listen.
Ronaldo's
There's no
taking it.
one. Yeah, no one is taking that penalty from Ronaldo. Even the free kicks, even though he hasn't
Yeah.
scored a free kick for a long time, still no one can take him because he's Ronaldo. You can't judge. You can't say anything to Bruno Fernandes, to Cristiano Ronaldo.
hey, they might get sent off. They might get sent off having a scuffle for the ball, mate.
Yeah,
Boy, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Bruno's inspired by Ronaldo. That's what you need to sort of understand. Like his whole mindset and the way he sort of approaches games is through the inspiration of Ronaldo. So I think Bruno's picking up the ball and he's giving it to Ronaldo to take it for that 90th minute pen, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. No one can say anything to Ronaldo in that team. Now, yeah. So I think that's a good shot, Moose. You're right. We didn't mention Gundogan. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He has been absolutely outstanding. But the one thing for me that I wouldn't say, the one reason why I wouldn't say he doesn't qualify for being player of the season is because I feel like he has gone on this amazing run since January. So January, February, March, and now in April, he's been outstanding for this team. And also, he's playing as most of the times as a false nine for Man City, so he's able to get these goals. But yeah, he had an amazing impact on this team. And but yeah, if we're gonna mention Gundogan, we also have to give a special mention to Jesse Lingard because of the impact that he's having at West Ham at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. For me, if you're gonna call out Lingard's name, you got to put Dino in that, man. He's been Lingard, Dino. He's been amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Just seeing him play, I agree with Lombe. I agree with him. He just looks fresh. He looks like he's had pre-season. He's mature. He's ready. He just looks sharp, and it's good to see that he's happy. His happiness
Yeah,
is infectious. So I agree with
absolutely. Yeah.
Lombe.
Yes, Moose.
Yeah, I was going to say that going back to the top 5 ranking, I'm not putting a Manchester City player at number 1 because their whole team is so good. Every week it doesn't matter who's playing. They seem to always, like, Sterling will have a few good games. Then Mahrez will. Then even Jesus will pop up a few times. Gundogan will. De Bruyne will. The centre backs will have a
Mhm.
good time. Cancelo will. Mendy scored the other day. Like, it's a great
Yeah,
team, innit? They don't even
yeah,
have. If there is a real magic man in there, it is Kevin De Bruyne. But even if Kevin De Bruyne's injured, they just stick Bernardo Silva in. So really, they're a great team.
Yeah, but that's why Lombe could probably be right about this, because the one player that has played every single game this season, apart from Edison, is Ruben Diaz. The only game that he hasn't played was the game against Leeds, which they lost 2-1. So Lombe, you could be onto something there.
Yeah, the reason why I've put both defenders, because at the end of the day, that's the bedrock of a title-winning defense. Like that's always important for a season. Even for Leicester when they won, they had the Huth and Wes Morgan. You can't underestimate their impact. And you know me, I'm always the sort of person that looks at the view that football always has awards that are designed around attackers, like the Ballon d'Or and whatnot. So I always try and give a defenders recognition. Plus, if you know me for playing football with me, you know that I appreciate defenders. So I'm like, technically, Moose, you're completely right with what I can't even disagree with. City are phenomenal, but then Ruben Diaz he's made an impact for that Man City team. He's looks like the first proper defender since Vincent Kompany, which is, for Man City's history, that's huge. Like they needed Diaz to do what he's doing right now for this all to continue and for them to set a new path. So I'm like, what we could be looking at Diaz in the next 5 years, like, yeah, what a transition from Kompany to Ruben Diaz. So like he's come in and he's made an absolute impact that you can't underestimate. But yeah, they're all attackers and midfielders destroy you anyway. Like, what can I say about Man City?
Yeah. Yes, Moose.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying there completely. That's why I've got Diaz in at 3 on my list. But I just think that Harry Kane has done a year of numbers, which is not too different to Messi. He's doing incredible stats, like in the Premier League, in a team that's struggled really. Mourinho football, it doesn't really suit the attack so much all the time. So that I can't give it even to Bruno Fernandes, who's been great. I have to say Kane, Arsenal fan. Nah, he deserves it.
Yes, from an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
I agree with Moose. Just from listening to what he's saying, it's just making me think that in terms of consistency, he's potentially gonna do 20 plus goals a season consecutively. So you gotta give the man credit, and not only the goals that he's obviously putting in, he's assisting a lot of the goals as well. So his numbers are crazy right now. So I definitely agree with Moose. You have to put Harry Kane up there in the list for sure.
Hey guys, we've been waxing the lyrical about Portuguese players. Look at how many English players was mentioned tonight. Gareth Southgate. Oh, you whatever you're doing, you better get it right in the Euros, because if Gareth Southgate stumbles across something in the Euros with England could do some serious damage, and I can't wait for that day. I'm waiting for the day when England have their moment. I hope I'm around for that. I hope I'm in the UK for that. Let me just say it that way. that would be quite nice to live through. It was almost coming home, but we all knew it wasn't coming home. But yeah, let's make something come home. Come on, I've seen Zambia win again. I've seen Zambia win. Come on, England, man! Don't give me. I don't want to hear no excuses, England. Come on, Zambia won.
True.
Come on.
Especially, you know what? Especially the fact as well. If the Euros is being held here, like, come on, like that's enough motivation for the boys to be like, look, it's here, it's back home. Let's just let the trophy stay home. Like, come on, they can do it.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Now, guys, so I think we can all agree that Harry Kane, Bruno Fernandes, and Ruben Diaz are the top 3 favorites to win it. It's going to be interesting, but normally, from looking at the way these awards have gone, is that as long as there's a British player, especially English player, dare I say, as long as they can justify giving it to him, I think most of the people are going to vote for that English player. So Harry Kane might be the winner, or it might not be. It might be Ruben Diaz or Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, we'll see how the season is going to end for these players. Now, to finish the show, we have a new segment that's going to be presented every single week, and we're going to look at the career or just a little bit of a little bit of romanticism, just a bit of nostalgia about some of the great foreign players that have played in the Premier League. And this week, Muz has prepared us someone that he's going to talk about, someone who has lit up the Premier League for Napoli as well in Italy. And yeah, carry on, Muz.
Yeah, so I've gone with Gianfranco Zola. Obviously, with the Italian background, I had to pick an Italian here. He started his career playing with Maradona, so that's not a bad trainer to start your career off at Napoli with. Then moved from there to Parma, where he was also successful. And then at 30 years old, in 1996, he came to the Premier League. I think it was Ruud Gullit who signed him. And also, there was a little Italian sort of crowd coming in with Zola, Vialli, then Casiraghi, Di Matteo. So that's when Italian players started coming over to the Premier League. And I remember watching Zola at Chelsea, and he was only 5'5", 5'6", and he was coming in and lighting up games. I remember Sir Alex Ferguson, he wasn't happy with Zola. He was like, he's a clever so-and-so. And he absolutely toyed with Man United. And then another famous clip was him against Liverpool, where he was playing with Jamie Carragher. So I've seen that clip a few times played in the studio, and obviously Carragher's looking a bit bemused. But he was absolutely unstoppable, Zola. And until maybe Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry surpassed him, but I think he was the greatest export to the Premier League internationally. So, yeah, I mean, I've got a quote here from Peter Schmeichel. He said, "I could never tell where he was going to shoot. Unplayable, and read the game like no other." So that is Gianfranco Zola. Another little thing I'll say about Zola is the free kick. This guy was one of the best free kick takers I've ever seen. Beautiful technique. It was like he was placing a ball with his hand. So much curve on the ball. So if you get time, definitely go on YouTube and watch some of Zola's best. I know you guys have all seen him as well. I don't know if you want to add some points to this.
You know, Moose, that's a tremendous description of Gianfranco Zola. He's a legend, and like you said, what a better trainer to have. You had the late great Maradona to learn from, to learn how he practices, and just to be around him. He graced the Prem. I really enjoyed watching Zola. Obviously, as a United fan, it's not nice seeing a player do what he did to us, but just looking at some of the goals that he scored, one of the goals that just sort of springs to mind is that back heel that he scored from the corner. I don't know what team.
Yeah, brilliant
Remember
goal.
that? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Just to have the technique to back heel it, no one's not doing that in the Premier League.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That goal, the back heel, that's definitely one to search on YouTube. The Zola back heel goal. He was sublime, Zola.
Yeah.
I know Chelsea maybe now, because they've won the Champions League, they have Drogba and Terry and Lampard as their legends. But for the real magic, I still think Zola is even more than Eden Hazard. Like, he had ability like no other, Zola.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Definitely,
I agree.
one of the greatest to have ever played in the Premier League. So thank you for taking the time to tell us about that, Moose. So that's it. That's all we've got time for today. Do you guys have any other points that you want to add to?
Didn't you want to do a stat of the day?
Oh, you know what? I've been so unprepared that I didn't even
I've got
do
one
that.
for you. Don't worry. I've got one for you. I've got
Okay,
a stat
carry on.
here. So I've got here a little bit of knowledge. Baresi and Maldini as a pair, a centre-back pairing, 196 matches played together and 23 goals conceded. So that's 1 in 8.
Oh my God.
Every 8 games, 1 goal's going in.
Oh my days, that is
Done.
just that is the greatest partnership ever, man. Oh my days.
Ever. And it's not even just the fact that it was just them two. It was the goalkeeper, the fullbacks as well. They played with each other in Italy as well. So the chemistry is 100. Not even 99, it's 100. It's perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nah, that's a great start, Moose. Thank you for sharing it. All right, guys, that's all we've got time for today. And make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so that you always get notified. And we're going to be doing another show. So make sure that you join us again. Thank you for watching and sharing the pod as always. Lombe, Moose, yours truly, Trey. Thank you, guys.
Yes, adios.
Thanks, guys.